back once again. I finished crafting up as many thermal evaporation blocks as I think I need. So let me spin these to craft the controller and 2 valves. Here are the valves and the controller. Now as for where to put this, I don't know. I also need this thing. I need a resistive heater. This allows me to convert energy into heat, which I'm going to need to operate the thermal evaporation controller. Maybe I'll just put it in here. Maybe this isn't an oil room. Maybe this is just a chemicals room. I'm actually fine with that. But first, let me get the rest of these blocks, which I need. And I'm going to place this. Actually, I think I have too many blocks. But anyway, this structure is super duper cursed. And this is not a GregTech machine, so I do actually care about chunk borders. Oh, look, I actually... I managed to do it in a chunk. Anyway, this is a mechanism machine. I don't know if I can really trust this to be across a chunk boundary, but I'm going to put it here. And the super cursed thing about this is that it's even by even. And if you know me, I'm not afraid of even symmetry. But even by even is too cursed, because then there's no way to center the controller. Like, that looks so weird. That looks so weird. Anyway, the valves go, I think, anywhere. And then the rest of the blocks just kind of go in this basin shape. And you can see the little particle effect. So this has formed, and it's heating up. It's going to heat up to the local ambient temperature. No, it's not. The temperature is 282. It's going up anyway, so I don't know when this is going to stop, but eventually this temperature is going to cap out. And if I want it to go higher, then I need to provide heat. And I also, by the way, definitely made too many evaporation blocks. But I think I can make this taller, and I'm pretty sure that makes it have a higher capacity. Let me try. Yeah, it does. Cool, so it wasn't a waste. Now the way this thing works, I think, is pretty simple. I pipe in water and then brine comes out. And I think I can send brine back in to turn it into lithium. Yeah, brine turns into liquid lithium. And liquid lithium, you know, it's liquid lithium. I can turn it into lithium dust. There's really no point in doing this though, because clay dust gives you so much lithium. Look at this. 13 clay dust is 1 lithium. That doesn't sound like a lot, but 13 clay dust is very easy to get. That's only 3¼ blocks of terracotta. The only question I have is, how do I provide heat to the structure? Do I just put it in anywhere, or does it have to go into a valve? I'm not sure. And can I pull and push fluids in and out through a single valve, or do I need 2? And if I need 2, does this mean I need a 3rd valve for the heat? I have no clue. But I guess we'll find out, because I need to craft some other stuff. I need to make the resistive heater, and I need to craft an aqueous accumulator. This will be my water source. I could also use an everfull urn, I guess, but I need to stop using them because I don't really have control over them like I would an aqueous accumulator. So I'm going to make those 2 things and then set this up, and also make a tank for the brine, or a barrel or something, some storage. Alright, I got it running. I don't think I actually needed 2 thermal evaporation valves. I think if I put it in the corner like this, I can do all 3 things with 1 valve. Putting in water, putting in heat, and taking out brine. But I already had a second one, so I just decided to put it over there. Doesn't really matter. This is a gas turbine, and I'm just using methane in here because I don't really need much brine right now, so I don't care if this runs out and this runs slowly, because it seems to still run even if you don't heat it. It's just a bit slower, and that's fine. The resistive heater is very straightforward. You just put energy in, and that's it. It heats this up. On the other side here, I have my water pool, inside of which is an aqueous accumulator. Now this thing generates water based on the number of tiles it's touching, or number of blocks it's touching that are source blocks. So all the sides that are not the top have water in them. Like over here there's water, over here there's water, and then opposite sides and below. So that's how the water goes into this multi, and to pull the brine out, I have a steel drum with the cover on it. The old ULV cover that I got from some quest reward. This is more than enough. And that pulls brine into the steel drum, and I already have almost 6 buckets. I don't need that much. But hey, this works. So cool, brine is done. And that means I can get back to making the gassy chicken. So let me get my gelid cryothium. I quickly bred up my gassy chicken. It is behind the steel drum underneath this chem reactor. And this chem reactor is going to convert gassy enriched eggs through program circuit 2 into nitrogen. And it's going to export the nitrogen into the input hatch, which is behind the chem reactor. And this right here is my drunk double EBF. And I think drunk EBF is the best way to place an EBF because you can access all of these hatches much more easily. If it was standing upright, I'd have to like crank my neck up to be doing anything, which is kind of annoying, and it needs more space. So this works. I just need to hook things up. And these combustion gens are going to power the EBFs. And I'm definitely going to be muting all of them. Alright, and I can hide this. And I'll also mention that the steel drum is GPS'd to have cetane boosted diesel in it. Or just diesel, not cetane boosted. Though I don't know why there isn't any more right now. Oh, because we're running out of light fuel. Okay, this is something I want to address pretty soon. I do need a distillation tower to make this better. And that's actually what I'm going to work towards, kind of. I made some stainless steel dust, so I'm going to get to blasting this, and then I can enter HV, like I said I was going to do last episode. But I'm going to do it this episode. Alright, double EBF. Things are faster. This is great. So, we are now officially in HV. This is great. Now the next major goal is to get to space. Not to the moon. The moon is the next goal. There is a difference. At least, I think there is. I'm pretty sure getting to space means building a space station. And that is the next goal. Doing that also unlocks Applied Energistics auto-crafting. That would be very, very nice. And there's a whole quest page over here, space, that shows you some of the prerequisites for getting to space. I actually have most of these. So I have an MV laser engraver. I don't have polyvinyl chloride, but it should be pretty easy to make. I have aluminium. I have MV assembly. And silicon, I could do this. I basically have this. Fuck it, I'm gonna check this off too. So to progress, I basically go through all of these quests. That makes me build a spacesuit, makes me build a spacecraft. This is not Galacticraft, by the way. This is advanced rocketry. So it's a little different than what any GTNH veterans might be used to. But actually, I'm not going to do this just yet. There is quite a bit of magic progression that needs to happen because I would love to have celestial gateways unlocked first. Not only that, once I get to space, mobs get infinitely more annoying. So I need better armor, I need better weapons, and like the quest here suggests, I need either peace candles or a ritual from astral sorcery to protect my base. Astral is a pretty cool mod, and it's the one I'm kind of most excited to do out of all of these magic mods. That said, there's a lot of interconnectedness between the magic mods and the tech. This is FTB interactions. We straight up interacting right now. My goal is going to be the Celestial Gateway, and I'm just going to do whatever magic is needed along the way. For example, I need a mana pearl, which needs unstable mana, which needs blood magic progression. And also, by the way, once I get this, I can make infinity reagent, which I can use for the rest of these chickens I have favorited. So no matter what I want to do next, I have to go through magic. I don't mind. Magic is pretty fun in this pack, actually. Let's see, I'm gonna look at these magic mods and see how to progress. In the meantime, of course, I will also continue working on HV stuff, but I think I need to blast a ton of... Where'd it go? I used it all. A ton of stainless steel, especially if I want to make the distillation tower like I mentioned, because this structure needs a lot of stainless steel. Resource generation is a bit annoying. I don't have a miner yet, so I might make one of my first HV machines an HV miner and set that up, but also there's more ore doubling I can do. This one, the shards, requires life essence and wizardry mana, which are pretty easy to get because there's a mana enriched egg, and also for the life essence there's blood apples, which I can get from bloody chickens. So that's pretty easy. The next step up, crystal iron, or crystal, you know, whatever. That needs blazing pyrotheum, which is a little bit more annoying to make. But I can make the primal chicken. This needs some more stuff, of course, and magic progression. So really, what I'm trying to get at is I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm gonna do magic because I feel like I've been slacking on magic. Alright, if I'm going to do astral sorcery, I'm gonna do it correctly. I know in GTNH, I definitely approached magic pretty poorly. So, for astral, this is the book that teaches you how astral sorcery works. This needs aquamarines, a book, and parchment, and the parchment is just aquamarine and paper. So I'm going to make this, I'm gonna read it, and I promise I am going to do astral sorcery correctly. I do not want this to turn into another Thaumcraft 4 situation for me. So here we are. So I can zoom out and in by pressing W and S or scrolling. And there's also constellations in the second tab. I'm not sure exactly what this is. It's pretty vague, but I know I got this because I do have one constellation paper. I think I got this from a quest. Now, I don't really know how this works yet, but yeah, I need to do a bit of reading. I'm pretty sure each one of these galaxies or nebulae has a bunch of information inside them. So I am going to read this entire book and then make a plan for how to proceed. Alright, I've read the first 2 chapters, Discovery and Exploration. Honestly, there's nothing that I didn't know already that isn't explained in the quest book. Except in the exploration chapter, it suggests making some of these things. A Phosic resonator will allow me to find areas that have naturally more starlight than others. A looking glass and a sextant are also required for further progression. And I also found out that the nocturnal powder can be used to spawn mobs. Not that I want to do that. Also, a grindstone would be nice because it can give many weapons sharpness, but it also has its uses in astral. So I'm gonna make some of those. I'm pretty sure some of those are even quests. Yeah, like the grindstone is a quest, the sextant is a quest. The telescope uses the looking glass, so I'm gonna make the looking glass and I may as well make the telescope as well. And then once that's done, I'm gonna read the next chapter. There is quite a lot to read, actually, 4 more chapters. And I think it increases in complexity from left to right. So discovery, then exploration, then attunement, then constellation, then radiance, then brilliance. And that's kind of reflected in the names too. Here's the sextant, the grindstone, and the looking glass. Never mind. Needs to be darker. Well, that's fine. In the meantime, I can craft this Phosic resonator. And I can hope that this is a high starlight area. But I don't know if I can even see that until it's nighttime. Because I have used this before and I'm pretty sure it's just like you get purple sparkles where it's high starlight. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to wait for nighttime. In the meantime, I'm going to continue reading my astral tome. I love knowledge. Alright, looking glass. But it turns out, I've read a little bit of the next chapter, and it seems like the telescope is just a direct upgrade to the looking glass. So, I'm not even gonna use this. I'm just gonna make the direct upgrade. Need to wait a little bit longer. Now, let's see if I can get this to work immediately. And also, let me see if this Phosic resonator shows me anything. Don't see anything yet. Or at all. Aha, no wait. That's just the sun. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell because also hardcore darkness, like, I don't know. Whatever. Let me try this telescope out. I don't know how this works. I can draw lines in it, but I don't know what else to do here. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I blocked it from the sky. Let's try it over here. I think there's sky access here. Cool, now I can see the sky. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to draw out the constellations using the stars here. But is there a way for me to have this open while I do the drawing? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can figure out Armara. Honestly, dude, I'm not seeing it. It's obviously, it has to do with these larger stars that are blinking. And I know that it's basically just a connect the dots thing. And I also know that I can only connect the dots of constellations that I have discovered, but I don't see this constellation at all. And now it's almost daytime, so time to stop, I guess. I guess I'm just gonna spend the day reading the rest of the book and seeing like what I have and what I can make. I'm seeing Celestial Gateway, by the way, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Well, I just kind of have to read and wait for nighttime so I can try to find this constellation again. It is very hard to find.